Hello everybody, my name is Zelinator and welcome back to Ultimate Minecraft Polyworld episode 421. Here we are with uncooked glass, but I think to myself, close enough, right? Probably. Let's just grab all these stacks of 48. And do poop poop poop. Alright, cool. So now we have all these nice complete stacks. So from here, I guess we'll pick up the box and move out. Is it nighttime yet? Nope, still middle of the day. Coolio, coolio. I don't know what's new here in pre-release 7, but this is the last pre-release. I was gonna say tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Next time. Which most likely Monday. On Monday we'll be getting to... whatchamacallit, we'll be getting to the full release of 1.15. Hooray! And the 1.15.1 has... I think one pre-release. And then it's the full version. And then I think 15.2 has two pre-releases. So the primary version of 1.15 ended up having a bunch of pre-releases. But then, only two minor updates after that. I guess they were rather satisfied. They must have done good with the bug fixes. I don't know how long it took between pre-release 1 and a full release. I want to say though, pre-release 7, I should say the full version came out on the same day as pre-release 7. You know what, slimes, I changed my mind, I don't want to steal your slime balls. Well, I think pre-release 7 released, and then later that day, or something. Howdy, howdy, welcome back. 1.16, I'm not on 1.16. I haven't even updated the resource pack. Howdy, Paul, welcome back as well. You should send some of those storms this way. We could use more rain. I don't even know how many pre-releases 1.16 has. I know it's a moderate amount though. 1.16 is going to be the return of release candidates, so I'll be plopping through those as well. Howdy, and also welcome back. If the storms pass by you, maybe they'll head this way. That'd be nice. And so I sit, and I wait for the next time we get rain. I haven't looked at the weather recently, so I don't know when the next time we are likely to get it. Oop. I don't know if I can Halo reach that. Nope. And I think I made a mistake. Oops. Well, now that I'm down here, guess we're just gonna get rid of that, move it over. Alright, let's try that again, shall we? So what I need to do first is work sideways, not top down. You don't want this kind of storm? Try me. I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances because so far chances have not been taken before. And I don't think my parkour skills are good enough to get around here. I know it's possible. I can jump high enough. Did not think so. Oh wait, hold on. I don't even need to be up there. I can just stay down here. I find this much easier. Howdy, howdy. Friday, Friday. When you say no more 9 to 5, I think to myself, that's hasn't been the case over here in a while. I don't know if you've been around, but I've said plenty of times before, I've been on summer break for a few years. If I ever wrote a book about these years, I'd call it The Endless Summer Break. Or something like that. I don't know exactly what I would call it. I talked about the title before. I'm not the only one who remembers hearing about that audio, beep beep, I'm a sheep. Every once in a while I talk about it, because I'm talking to sheep or something. Or I say beep beep, move over. And then add on, I'm a sheep. You don't need to be sorry. A 9 to 5 just means you're part of modern society and its expectations. And where? Oh wait, it's still on me. Let's catch some Z's, reset the weather timer. The Pacific Ocean isn't that close to here. In regards to the size of the US, yes, it's close. It's within reasonable driving distance. But if we get a tsunami, I'm probably not going to be affected. Alright, there we go, all that glass is in place. This muffin I'm not familiar with. I only remember some of those. I didn't watch them on my own, because I never cared enough. But like, back in high school, when I carpooled, the other people who enjoyed it would have it on. You chose to breed bees. Why such a large scale? If you already told me the answer, why so many, I can't remember. I'm just sticking to 8 trees, 8 bee nests. Eventually we might get some rain. It's been up and down on the temperature. I know that's not exactly related to moisture in the air, but I'm hoping we're not done with rain for the year until the fall or winter. That'd be rather sad. We had a fair amount of rain not too long ago, and hopefully that hasn't passed. But we're already getting back up to triple-digit temperatures over here. Are not a lot of the times posts that go viral rather unhelpful to the world as it is. I think about a video of a woman who said some things, skyrockets in popularity, and I think to myself, why does the internet do this? Truth be told, I don't remember how tall trees get. Hopefully 9 blocks is good enough. Oh no, it's 10, because it's 4. No, it is 8, sorry. It's 3 plus 1, not 4 plus 1. Alright, I'm going to try to find my stuff. It is directly related. Why are you yelling? Alright. That shulker box is not helpful, and this one only has a bunch of saplings. If I only get small trees, that's fine by me. I don't need the big ones. I was just preparing in the event that I do get a big one. I don't have bones. Alright, let me grab the goods here. There we go. Ian said politely, directly related. I'm sticking to oak. Probably. I don't even know how many birch saplings I have. Oh, I see. You intentionally misspelled those. I haven't been to Artie Shaft in so long. I wonder how he's doing. I wonder how many ores appeared in the mine shaft I built down there. I wonder if there's any dirt or gravel patches that appeared. Howdy Shady, welcome back. Long time no see, it hasn't been that long. No more than a couple weeks. I've thought about setting up some sort of virtual mailbox where people can send me items. It kind of comes down to, though, I don't have a good way to verify that they obtain those items legitimately. Otherwise, I would totally set up some sort of virtual mailbox system where people can send items to me on this world. I just never figured out a good way to do that. Everything I've seen online is unhelpful because it's talking about mail messages, not mail items. People have a survival world, right? Say they find 5 diamonds, and they want to give them to me. They would put them in their own mailbox, and then here on my own world, I would have a mailbox where I receive the stuff. Therefore, they send the item to me. Alright, I realize I don't need this many oak saplings. Oh wait, no, hold on. 2 there, plus 2 here. Grab that 4. No, wait. I need 8, just kidding. Oops. Howdy, Golem. Visit the Farlands outpost thingy. You know that's at the Farlands, right? You know how far the Farlands are? Answer. Far. At some point, I'll ask around, do better searching online to see if anyone else has some sort of virtual gift system that's vanilla exclusive. I'll see you when I venture back. My plans are measured in decades, so things could change before then. Paul, you wouldn't be sending me entire worlds, you could be sending me items within the world. Alright, I'm looking for this one. What does carpet do? Assuming you're not talking about the item. Or block, I should say. Alright, I have that. I have the saplings. Bone meal is what I don't have. Boop. Good job, me of the past leaving this year. Don't know how much I'll need. Oh wait, hold on. Isn't it only like 3 to 4 each? I'll grab just 1 stack. Alright, we'll see if we get any additional nests. Because otherwise we are still sitting at just the 1. Did you check out the trial chamber in creative or survival? I asked about carpet because I had not heard of it before. I better understand now. I don't think I'll ever play Blue Archive. Every once in a while I see promotional material for it. I wonder... Nope, never mind, that was a different game. There was a different game I referenced on my Population Zelinator World. One of the street names. Nom, 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 nom. I have not at all heard of Strawberry Fields. I know what strawberries are. Oh, you know what I don't have? I don't have doors. I done goofed. Hold on. This is not bee-proof yet. I've encountered an issue of my own doing. Alright, I'm looking for... Oh, wait, hold on. Don't I have dirt? Let me fill this in real fast as I do some compulsive terrain smoothing. This just feels darker than what it should be. Alright, so now that the Zella Moon rises, I'll catch some Z's, reset the weather timer. Alright, away we go. Because I done goofed, therefore we have to go all the way back. I think I have wooden doors. You know, hold on, maybe I don't have any oak doors. Let's see if I can find a crafting table. I don't think I have any near here, though. No, I'll be heading back to the house. I'll just make additional doors since I don't think I have any oak on me, and since I'm gonna need 4, I'll have to craft additional anyway. Are you talking, Ian, are you talking about the C418 track? Because you're talking about whatever music's playing, I don't hear it, because my volume is low. Y'all hear more audio from the game than I ever do. Based on the anime name, I am very unlikely to ever get to it. Oh wait, hold up, just kidding. There we go. Alright, now we can head back. I understand why people carry around crafting tables all the time, but I think to myself, it just takes up inventory space. I haven't been inside that house for a while because there's not much there. I want to say I have a big gold collection down in the cellar, maybe even gold and iron. I have the toilet that leads to the sewer, and the bathtub with lava underneath. Call it a hot tub. Those water columns are indeed from the Farlands, because I don't think I'll ever get around to cleaning those up. I cleaned up some of the lava and water, but there's still a lot left. There's a pig. 1 or 2 pigs. I used to be on top of one of the pillars. Hold on. There we go. Doors used to be biased where the hinges would always be on the left side. And then eventually, I think in 1.9, they made it so that you can choose either the left side or the right side when placing the door. Well, I want to say it used to be left, because when placing the secondary door, I remember it would always have the hinges on the right. Anyways, not important. Alright, so now, let's do this one tree at a time. Alright, what am I doing wrong? Is it you? Yeah, it was. I guess you're gonna give me issues as well. I guess I should have just left the tall plants at home. These trees are getting taller and taller. Look at that. 2, 3, 4. Mildly comedic, I say. Hopefully I don't get any tall trees. Or sorry, any short trees. I prefer them taller. That way I can leave the double tall plants. I feel a sneeze coming. Pineapple. Pineapple. I could not pineapple that one away. I'll have to clean up both of y'all. Ah, this is one of the ones I wanted to not have. Alright, so here's what we are going to do. We're going to do what I usually do. Without the flint and steel, as the structure is made out of wood. I think it's kind of an interesting effect. I don't know exactly all the conditions for trees when they grow, other than there's a minimum space requirement. However, certain blocks also count as blocking, whereas some do not. There we go. That's acceptable. Ta-da! There we go. Alright, cool. I now have this area nice and established. It would have indeed been funny, and also annoying if I got another short one. Alright, hooray! Now that all this is now taken care of, I've decided what I want to do with that one plank. I want to leave it right here in the middle. Because I want to know exactly where the midpoint is. Alright, so now we have one nest. Will the bees be happy within? They're able to plop out, right? There's empty space here. I don't know if having these like right next door. This is going to be an all new experience. I don't know how to convince the bees to plop out. I know the campfires can be used for calming them. I'm thinking of putting them down on each of the sides. I don't want to watch a tutorial video during. I at least wanted this to be constructed and then figure out more of the small details later. Three minutes of being loaded in a bee's nest. Okay. I'm not going to wait around here for 3 minutes. So, we're going to let them do their magic for a while. We'll check back later. Because what we'll be doing next is getting all those lights going. Hooray, back to redstone. So, I want to build a little shack. I'll build it probably on this side. In fact, I might even add a little pathway. Oh, you know, speaking of pathways... Oh, I don't have any slabs. I'll need to come back here with slabs another time. But what I'm going to do... Does this go over? Yeah, the tracks just go right over the gravel. So, I guess before we get to the redstone, let me work on all this real fast. It has indeed entered the redstone era. The amount of redstone I've laid down these past couple of weeks is rather extensive. Alright, so there's one pathway. And then I'll do another over here. I kind of want to make this 3 blocks wide. Yeah, I'll make it 3 blocks wide because it'll look nicer when lined up with the planks. I did not miss a block. I'm putting a slab on there Why would I waste a gravel when you're not going to see it? Oh, but then that means I'll have to make this whole area flat. Because all of those are going to have the slabs on them. Dirt is easy to acquire. Gravel is difficult because if you're using a shovel, there's a possibility of it turning back into flint. And that's not what I need. I'm not gonna call you crazy. I was sad when I saw 1.3 change the texture. Because I like the gravel. The 1.0 texture is a little bit cleaner because it's not as high contrast. But otherwise, I still prefer the high contrast classic texture. Yeah, I believe it was beta 1.9, like a bunch of the other textures, where gravel became a little more pale. And then I don't know if I'm going to put a pathway on this side. We'll just leave one block for now because... Oh wait, never mind. I have more. But yeah, when 1.3 rolled around, as that was the first major update I witnessed, that was one of the things I was not happy about. It just doesn't look gravelly enough to me. Oh well. Alright, so if I have this pathway here, then I probably will put the shed maybe around here. I don't know what I'll have inside, it's just gonna be a lever. No, it has to be 2 levers. One lever to light up the shed, and then another lever to control the lights in there. Oh, they popped out. Hooray. Alright, let me catch some Z's, reset the weather timer. I'll do this over here. I have a few different eras listed on the document, other than the 4 big parts that are currently released. I don't know if we're ever going to have gravel slabs, because I was saying before, you'd have to make the gravel slab fall, and falling slabs does not sound like a fun thing to figure out on a technical level. I'm still waiting for the day where they have a dedicated slab type, and just like how you have different block states, each half is controlled individually. I don't know when we'll get there, but someday we might. Do you know the amount of building opportunities you would unlock by having different slabs occupy the same space? The top half would be one type, and then the bottom half would be another. With the amount of different stair orientations, I'm surprised we haven't gotten there yet. One day, perhaps. That's all I could hope. And, of course, apple pies. Doesn't falling slabs, though... There's a question, what happens when a falling slab lands on another slab? Using the commands, as you mentioned. Sideways stairs. We need sideways slabs. I'm pretty sure stairs, based on how they function, can already be placed in every possible orientation. Oh wait, no, I know what you mean by sideways. Where the missing corner is vertical instead of horizontal. You can say it creates a double slab, but under regular circumstances, any falling block that falls on top of another slab will turn back into an item. Of course, I had to do some compulsive terrain smoothing. It bothered me. The issue has now been resolved. Hello, hi, howdy to you as well. Welcome back. Alright, so now what we need is a little bit more gravel. Don't know how much I'll spend, but I'll hold on to it for now. I'll also put away some of this glass. Well, I'll put away most of it. And then we'll go from there. Sticks can be put away. I might use this bone meal and just use it on the rest of the empty area inside. I kind of remember the old falling on fence bug. I say old, but you know, that was 1.14 was 6 years ago. It definitely feels old by now. I'm looking for doors. Did I just totally pass doors? Or were they not on that side? Oh wait, they were way over here. Oop. Yeah, I only had 2 anyway. Alright, so I put away these saplings, and then I came back here for the redstone. I need 2 levers and a whole bunch of redstone. I'll take that. Grab the repeaters, grab the torches. And the next thing I needed, redstone related, was a few more lamps. I'm probably only going to have maybe 2 inside the shed. That doesn't need to be very large. Or you know what I could do? If I have 1 for input, 1 to light up the shed itself, and then 1 if power is going out, then I'll need at least 4. And to feel safer, I'd rather grab 6. Hooray, math. Oh wait, you know what I don't have? I don't have building materials. We're gonna grab a little bit of stone, a little bit of cobblestone. I still have some planks on me. I don't expect this to be very large. Oh, in fact, I'm gonna need a door to enter it, so hold on. Let me be smart and keep one of these on me. Alright, we're all good. You eat the potion instead of drinking it? You don't have a way to have custom liquids. We already have the full bottle system. How is that not exposed to you? Paul, what swamp trees are you talking about? I don't have any swamp trees in here that were in beta 1.8. Add a potion, you can't add random effects. You can, if you have your own code for that. Instead of assigning an effect to a potion, you would assign a random value featured from a list. Or use that value, select the item from that list, and go from there. Oh, I see goods. Hold up. It's shears, right? Nope. Bye. How long are they mad? Are they mad forever? Did I done goof? I didn't have the campfire. You can't brew it. What sort of potion is this? Sounds like a very cobbled way of going about it. They're not mad forever. Alright, cool. 1, 2. 2 are in the clear. I don't want to wait 5 minutes. The honey is going to despawn in that time. Do they go back in? Here's the question, do they know if I'm approaching? Boop, boop, boop. I'll be back with campfires later. But hey, picked up our first honeycombs. Alright, so with all that now thoroughly taken care of, I'm thinking, how do I want to design this? I could go for a good old-fashioned box, or I create something a little more interesting. What if I made it like an octagon? I'm gonna have to dig this up. Alright, I'm thinking we're gonna shave all this down. Why do I feel like I've already filled a bunch of this in? I'd like to ask what you mean by detached from reality during summer break. And I also want to know what brought this question about. Does that have anything to do with bees being mad at you? Like, you know what? I could make it pill-shaped. It doesn't have to be a perfect octagon. And so much for Shack. This is already feeling rather large. Or I can make it like a crescent. If I do that, then this goes all the way to 5. And then I'll just shave the corners. I have no idea what effect you're referring to, as someone who never looked too deeply into psychology. Maybe I'll have the floor be wood, because I wanted the building itself to be primarily stone-based. I was kind of thinking sort of like a sandwich. But in fact, I have this image in my head. I just realized I don't know what I'm going to do with the roof. I'll figure that out later. I'll probably do a bunch of slabs. Or smooth stone. Smooth stone slabs. Oops. Field trip in June. Where are you heading off to? Oh wait, is this going to be an odd number? Hold on, maybe I'll be lucky and it'll be an odd number in the midsection. The door makes it even. Visiting lakes is rather fun. I'll be heading out of town to a lake soon-ish. There we go. Yeah, this is definitely larger than what I was anticipating, but if I end up stealing a lot of the backside space, or I could just bring the wall forward. because I'll need 2 levers. One lever here. First, I need an input. So I need 1 for power input, 1 for the lights in here, and then 1 to control the lights over there. And so if I brought this forward... No, that 2 black holes because I ran out of planks. I didn't mean to put that there. But I'm kind of feeling like having this here. With your law firm, the office co-workers. The reason why I'll be heading out and up to the mountains is because I'm attending a bachelor party. That'll be my first one. I've attended weddings before, but this will be the first bachelor party for a wedding. This got really cramped, but that's okay. So we're going to have 1 lever here, and then 1 lever there, and then right here is going to be the power input light. If you're talking to me, I know that's a joke because I don't enjoy alcohol. I should say I don't consume and have not. Alright, so I need this light to be powered from a wire coming from way over there. I probably should work on that first, and then I'll figure out where this all fits in after. And I realized I didn't need this many planks if I'm just going to have it like that. I sort of built the floor before realizing I wasn't going to use that stuff. Alright, so if this is way off in this direction, I feel like the wire I'd want to pull from will be this one. So let me go inside and see which one that is. So we're looking at this one. Oh great, input number 4, so that means any sort of power reduction in this one turns off. If y'all are referencing something, I don't know what you're talking about. So then this one is... I don't know. Oh wait, hold on, I know. I'll just call it B movie. I know what I'm talking about. Alright, so that wire is the farthest on that corner, and so that's the one I'll need to route all the way that way. A meme with that barber. I can probably guarantee I have not seen it. Alright, so this wire has to go that way and not run into any of the other wires I've spent the past week working on. Alright, so if that's the case, let me write down the coordinates for the endpoint and I'll snake my way over there. Oh, this isn't that far. So the main point I want to be at is right around here. So this is... Let me whip out trusty notepad. 437, 558. Alright, so this is right about where I need to be. There's an error in my design. Can you see the error? That's right, I don't have a door. I'll figure that out later. What I could do is shift everything over by 1, because if I put the lamps there, these levers can move there, and then that way I can have the iron door on this side. Alright, that's what we are going to do. Is there no tool for levers? No tool to speed up the mine process. I don't remember where's the door, but I always remember that Wipeout clip of the woman saying, "Where's the pole?" Oh, wait, hold on. Are you talking about Drake and Josh? I do remember that clip. Oh, wait, let me find... Alright, so this is way down here, it's 30. I have to drop down to like 27. Is there anything I would want from the grocery store? I could use more cereal. We're getting low over here. That's a wire I need to not cross. I didn't have anything on that, right? Hopefully. 6 cheese pasta. They sell that individually wrapped or individually packaged. Oh, that's lava. That's not lava, that's cobble. Alright, I think now we're in the clear. Famous last words. Oh no! We're not in the clear. As soon as I say I think we're in the clear, water washes away all the redstone I was just placing. Alright, so we're gonna go down a little bit more, and then we're gonna go forward. Your local IGA/food giant. You want me to say, haven't heard of either of those places. I can't say there's none in California, because I don't know. But I've not experienced anyone who's been to one over here. That includes myself. Maybe that's why I haven't heard of a 6 cheese pasta before. That's not local then, if it's over in the Midwest. Alright, where am I looking at? I'm looking at 437 and 558. How about I just keep going in a straight line? I'm gonna toss all this redstone for now. Eventually, I'll optimize the distance with the repeaters and the blocks, but I can do that later. Oh wait, hold on, 558? That is, right here. So then we go over to 537. It's kind of funny, the amount of caves I was running into when I was working on the wires over surrounding the station, the pathways, and I haven't run into a single cave since I left that area. Alright, here we are. So 437. Oh, we are way down here. Oops. Well, this is indeed where I want to be, but this is rather low. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill all this in. So I need that block. I just need to keep track of this within my brain. Should be fine. Because this is the block I build my staircase on. I've probably heard of 3 and or 4 cheese. 6 trees is rather extensive. Let me go find my bed, catch some Z's, reset the weather timer as Zella Moon rises. Alright, so what we are going to do is we're going to get the line fully wired. Hopefully this is where I can plop in the AND gate. In fact, since I'm back here, how about I just dig up all these planks, get a refund. If I feel like putting them back, I can do that later. But now this is the part where I swap out pickaxes because I need cobblestone. In fact, hold on, where are the shulker boxes? I didn't put them away, right? Did me of the past really put them away? Oh, it's gonna be time to shear them again, but I'll be back later with the campfire. If I had a way to control the campfires, that would be rather beneficial. I'd have to set up some redstone to control the pistons underneath. Alright, so... where was... So if I can put that there, hold on, I need full block. I don't know if I can dig up, so we're gonna dig around every one of these repeaters. I'm well aware how far I have to go for a trial chamber. How many of those blocks are craftable? Because if a lot of the trial chamber blocks are craftable, then I won't have to. Cheese pasta, I guess if that's what you call it. Macaroni is a specific type, though. Alright, now that I have cobblestone, let's fix this up real fast. Alright, so I have to run the wire here, which I might have done goofed, because I didn't realize. I think this has to be scooted back one. I think I need the signal to go up even higher, but the problem is I can't dig this up because that's already the outside area. Butter noodles. Are they noodles made from butter, or are they noodles coated in butter? Okay, so that can be on, which means... Oh wait, no, keep that. That has to be off. To power that. There we go, alright, cool. Okay, noodles coated in butter is more understandable than noodles primarily made out of butter. Because I was going to question your food choices. Alright, so now with that taken care of, I'm able to dig this up. And so I'll have to pull the signal from here. So this is the line I will combine with 2 different inputs. Which, thinking about that, I don't know if I'll be able to have this. So I really need... Howdy. If your last message did not go through, YouTube blocked it for being suspicious. Alright, so I have that one there, that one there. Let me flip these down. So now I need 2 separate AND gates. One for this wire, one for this wire. And then, you know what I realized? If I'm gonna have an iron door here, then I'll need to put another lever, probably on that wall. It'd just look weird having 2 levers next to each other. Anyways, so that's all hooked up. I'll need one lamp, maybe for up here. I can either have the lamp above or below. So what I might be able to do is have this go up here. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Because I need one lamp to know whether or not there is indeed power going out. Maybe it will work better below, because if I'm going to have lamps in the ceiling for light, I should probably have them in the floor. So I have one for whether or not I'm receiving power. And then this one, decisions, decisions. I wonder if I can run this signal. You know what? I think I will. Let's move that over. All right, so I'll keep that signal going forward and then have the separate line coming up. So I have to pull from here. Have that with a torch. So I need to take this one and this one. Wait, hold up. For the most part, yeah, the entirety of part 2 is one whole era. Okay, so oops. So if that's there, that means I'd have to put the torch, like, what a weird way to design an AND gate. I wonder if this one should be flipped. Because I need this one and this one on, which means this one I should just pull the signal from directly. So to do that, have that block there. So that way, now if I flip this one, that torch turns off. Or if I remove this power, that torch turns off. That's what we want. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm looking for. So this is all one gate right here, hopefully. So now I'm going to have to keep this signal from down here. This is the one I wanted. This is the one that's going to advance forward and be out of the way from what's going on up here. Because I can put that redstone there, and then I can do whatever I want with that signal. But down here, take that one, take another torch, take that one. So I need this signal and that signal, and it looks like I'm about to design another three-way gate. Torch, torch, block. Torch, there we go. So now if I flip this one, that torch turns off. And if we remove power, that torch turns off. There we go. Comparator moment. I don't need any comparators for this. I'm just using AND gates. I'm not comparing the signals. I just need them both to be on. There might be a way to make an AND gate with comparators. I'm old-fashioned. This works as far back as redstone existed. 3 torches and some dust. Goes all the way back to 1.1. But now we have our 2 different signals. So what I'm thinking is this one right here is going to be used for the ceiling lights. This one down here I'm going to keep underground. And then that's the one that's going to go to there. Alright, so In fact, if I want to maximize the vertical space for this one, I should probably put the dust. Am I out? Yes, I am. You could make basic ALUs and CPUs all the way back in alpha. It's just not very clean because everything has to be done on a torch basis. You don't get repeaters. And there's not a good display because all you can really do are turn torches on or off. It would have been nicer if you at least had lamps at that time. It became more useful once you got pistons in beta 1.7 because not everyone wants to make music. So put that away. I still kind of feel like one of the reasons why we got repeaters is for use with no blocks to have proper timing. I don't know, but I feel like that could be one of the reasons. You use glowstone, but you can't do anything with that glowstone to turn it on or off until beta 1.7, where you could block the light with a piston and another block to turn the glowstone on or off, because you can't do anything with the glowstone, I think. I feel like you could not move glowstone originally with a piston, but I don't remember exactly. Redstone dust is glowstone through a filter? I'm not sure what you're referring to. The opposite of yellow, you'd have to look at a color wheel for that. Howdy, Koski, welcome back. Put away my coordinates. Oh wait, no, that's not true, because I'm about to write down every single one of those. Alright, well anyways. So this wire I have going. I thought the inverse of blue was orange. I thought orange and blues were opposite. I should look up color wheel real fast. Opposite of yellow is violet. So the middle of blue and purple, essentially. Or like closer to purple than blue, I should say. Alright, so we're going to write down all of these. Thankfully, I don't have to do anything special with these lamps because it's totally flat ground here. So as long as I'm just a few blocks beneath the surface, I can do whatever I need. So I'm only going to write down the 4 corners here. When you say different robins, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Oh, Robin, Batman and Robin. There you go. I was thinking the bird and trying to figure out. Ian, you know Redstone came out in Alpha 1.0, right? And Glowstone came out in Alpha 1.2. Glowstone Dust was in the game several versions. Alright, there we go. I think I have all my numbers written down. The 4 corners of here. So if I'm on 36, I think I have to be on 33. How far down is this? Oh, well that's convenient. This is 33 right here. And so this is 27. Sorry, 427. I wish I had that shovel again. Oh, I see planks. We're in the right area. Cool. Alright, so the farthest distance is 532. Oh, there's that cave I was working on before. So this is 532 here. So then this goes all the way across. Oops, we have a problem. Oh, in fact, hold on, let me head up top. I have this bone meal that I could use. As I was looking at this and thought, you know, I'll just have a little extra space here. Boop. There we go. Now it feels a little more natural inside. Oh, the grass escaped right. Cool. That freed up an inventory slot. Western comics being inaccessible as in availability for your area. Yeah, I need 4. So this is 427. We go all the way to 439. Oh, that's a problem. I can't do anything with honeycombs by themselves, right? I know you can wax the blocks in the future. But like right now, safe to hold in my offhand. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I can turn these off now. Oopsies. Wonder if I just destroyed a few flowers. I did not mean to do that. There's such a big, or I should say, why do you know there's such a big price difference? You know, I think we're just gonna fill all this in. At least most of this. I guess I'm not asking why do you know, I'm asking for what reason. Because I'm sure you looked into this, but I wanted to know what was the cause. To better clarify what I was asking. Alright, there we go. Cave noises were supposed to be ambient. Much like cave noises to add ambience. And if there's any other reason than that, I'm not familiar. Alright, let me just take a quick look inside and see if it's noticeable where I accidentally dug up a bunch of the floor. No, not really. I was concerned that I was going to have this line of missing stuff, but you can't tell. Alright, so now, with that taken care of, let me see. I shouldn't have done that, I ate too early. So we are looking at combining that stack. We should probably just head back. I'll need to make more campfires. But one thing at a time. Oh wait, hold on. let me start laying down all this redstone. If everything fits in my inventory for now. I don't know how much honey I'll be acquiring now. Well, you know, I wonder. I wonder if I were to just simplify this. Howdy, Potato, welcome back. Don't worry, there's a game I've never played called Kingdom Hearts. I own the series, remastered. I haven't touched any of them. However, I really like the song Sanctuary from it. Every once in a while I give that a listen. Alright, so what I need that to be a continuation. Feels like kind of a waste having these two repeaters just right next to each other, but oh well. So then block, 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 block. So all of these, oops, not that last one. All of that's redstone. And then the final one's the repeater, because that's what powers that. There was a game, still is, called Locomotion. The game came out in 2004, I believe. However, it has time period sound and music all throughout, because you can start playing the game as early as 1900. And so it has music all throughout the game from all the different eras. Pretty great stuff. Actually, I don't know if any of the music played on my channel. I can't remember if I had sound on or off, but I played Locomotion on here a little while ago. I'm really trying to maximize inventory space with this. I should just carve this all out to begin with, but too late. Oops. I ran out of dirt. Or I should say I ran out of space for dirt. What's the offhand useful for? Extra inventory space. Oop. Need a little bit more. I'm not enough. I should say I'm not familiar enough with newer games like Transport Fever. I say newer even though if it's older by now. Does it beat 2004? Only 2 degrees of separation. Connection still there. And I think now we're all good. Let me head up top real fast and verify that everything's connected. And we're also going to catch some Z's, reset the weather timer. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me hop in real fast. We're going to pick up all these torches. Because I need to verify that this works. And I still have to set up the return signal. Okay, one thing at a time, one thing at a time. Alright, we're all good. So, if I head on over here and flip, was it this lever? All the lights inside turn off. Except there's a lighting bug. Huh. That's not nice. I thought they were supposed to fix that. Oh well. Someone had this song on a Minecraft stream. Interesting. Transfer fever is 16 and 19. That's so recent. Alright, so now that's all good. So the right one I'll need to remember until I get labels. I'll need to remember for all that. So what I have to do now, I need one lamp here and another lamp here to verify whether or not the signal's actually going out. So that should be easy. Famous last words. Alright, so that one is 556. I'll just open this up all the way, even though this first one's only going to be connected. Yeah, leave that there. This first one's only going to be connected here. Alright, there we go. So this lever, or sorry, this light now tells me whether or not the signal's actually going out. Because if I were to head over here and say, cut off the power input, then what happens is, that's never going to turn on, because there's not actually any power going out. Alright, so, with that one all nice and good, I'll have to hook up this wire. This wire has to somehow make its way over here. And this is the part where I think I will be back, because I'm tired of working with no inventory space. I can also get rid of all those coordinates, probably. I'll still have to hook up the return signal for here, so that way the power goes all the way there and comes all the way back, but I'll work on that soon. A lot of interests end up being, I should say a lot of your interests ends up being connected because you're interested in specific stuff. You cannot find someone who's interested in everything. But even so, would that not mean everything is connected? See, that's where your own connection comes from then. You like Minecraft, you like the song. The other person streaming liked Minecraft, and they like the song. Is that not still the same thing? There you go. That feels a little better. I wonder if I'll ever expand the creeper-proof house. I was just now thinking about it. If I ever lose that glass, I'm gonna be having, I should say I will end up with less gravel where the glass used to be. That's a problem for future me. Alright, so let me put all that away. Put all this dirt away. I don't know what I'm going to do with the honeycombs, but we're going to take them out of my offhand. Still have redstone repeaters and torches. I can put away the slime balls, and the saplings can go back to being furnace fuel. That one's 46, that one's 45, plus 3, plus 2. Alright, toss all that, and I also toss the iron and hope I don't pick up any more. Eventually this iron ore may be useful, because at some point in the future I could use fortune on it. Alright, so now let me think. I still have a few lamps. I was gonna have glass inside the shack, but I think I voted against that. I'll put more away. Oh, you know what I could use? I could use slabs while I'm here. Only have 51, I don't think that's enough. Smite 5 still has uses for mobs wearing armor. Okay, I don't know if I needed this much. I'll put away the extra 49. Hopefully 2 stacks is enough to cover the roof. Alright, I think now we're all good. Hold up, my phone done charging. Doop. Like this, but let me take care of this real fast. Doop. Alright, all good. Excuse me, iron golems. I cannot say I've ever heard of The Night Begins to Shine. You remember Teen Titans Go? I remember Teen Titans. By the time Teen Titans Go was around, I wasn't watching much TV. Do I have the dirt? Oh, I don't have any of the dirt. I don't like seeing that stone there. I need to smooth this out, but later. I never watched it a lot. I just remember when Teen Titans was on. Here, let me consume one of these. Y'all know me in odd numbers. Y'all don't see me. I'm not here, Mr. Slime. Alright. So, you know what I didn't do? I didn't come back with a campfire. Part of me wants to risk it for the biscuit, but then again, if I go in and a bee stings me, we lose the bee. I don't think I want to do that just yet. So let me first cover all this up, because I need at least one lamp in here, and then another lamp over here. With all the torches I have on the backside, maybe I do only need 2 of them. Okay, well first, let's get all this going. Smite 5, looting 3. I wonder if I have a smite sword somewhere, because I have my current one. I don't think there's smite on it. No, at some point I'll need to go back around and collect wither skulls, but I don't yet know when. Okay, how to get this signal down there? I guess if the signal comes from here, I can make a separate branch. That's like down here. Oh boy, this is where it gets complicated. Because I can have the redstone go here, but if it's going down here, it has to run beneath there, and it also has to avoid. It has to avoid interacting with all of this. Oops, hold up, keep that. Oops, that's not gonna work at all. I'm needing... Ah, why'd you say reopen? Have something to talk to. Other words to share. Oopsies. Sorry, lamp. I didn't mean to do that. I guess this ended up being easier than I thought because I just have to keep the wire back here. And put that block back. So then I'll just need a repeater right there. And then avoid. That works, right? Yeah, I can avoid that by having the signal go all the way through. And there we go. And then now this is just entirely open all over again. I've never really been into comics or manga much. I don't know if I'll ever pick it up more. I know there are plenty of good stories out there, but I think to myself, other stuff takes priority for my time. I'm gonna put that down since these lights aren't going to be on all the time. So I'll need to come back here with an iron door because I did kind of forget that, along with a campfire. And hoink. Here's the thing with reading versus watching. I can have something off on a side monitor and listen to it. If I'm reading, I have to use my own eyes and keep my attention on that. That's where the difference comes from. Now let me cut the power to make sure that everything turns off correctly. Oh, everything turns off. Other than that light, because I'm pretty sure that's not where I pulled the redstone from. Alright, so if I turn this off, where's the optimal place to have a lamp? It's kind of funny, all this effort just for one ceiling light. No, I probably should have two. I'll put one there, and then one there. Alright, set that back. Paul, I have no idea how you can see the difference. Or I should say how you can see the comparison between Starfire and Ramen. Because I have no idea how. Alright, so this is the part where I take some of these slabs and then just do this. And it reaches, hooray. Cool. I want to say the only comics I own personally that I intentionally wanted to acquire was a large 3 different Godzilla series put into one. It was the 3 different series, each with their 4 or 5 volumes each, all together as one. As one large, thick book. It's pretty neat. It was indeed combined. I'd have to find wherever it was, but I picked this up within the past few years. And so I saw it was the full large-scale release and thought this would be cool to have. And so I did. There we go. It's kind of like a little bit like a face because you have the eye, and then the mouth. And then just don't look up top or else you'll see some of the redstone, but that's okay. I think we're all taken care of here with the shack. The amount of effort required just for this one lever to turn all these lights on and off. What's even the point? Because if you have these lamps on, you don't even need the ceiling lights. Oh well. Okay, you know, here, while I'm here, let me just fill this in. because I decided that I don't need that corner. It'll look nicer once I have the door here. Maybe I should keep that open. Hold on. Because if I put the iron door here, I need a way to get down here. Up, down, up, down. I guess I should keep that open, and then... You know what I could do? I could put block there and block there. That way, this gives me a little bit of a platform when I go through. Design choices, design choices. So now we have to come back with 3 different... I need to come back with 1 lever, 3 signs, and campfires. Let me whip out Notepad real fast, because I will not remember. 3 signs, 1 lever. I'll start out with 4 campfires instead of all 8. Alright, away we go. I feel like having an absolute universe is only going to work best if it's written the best. I can clear all that out. What time are we at? Wow, it's already been an hour and a half. Coolio. Alright, all good. Back to work. If it looks incredible so far, then that means they really are taking the time doing it right. Alright, now let me get back to clearing out my inventory of all the stuff I for sure no longer need. You know, we're going to grab all this dirt because there was that area that I want to fix. Every time I hear a unit, I can't stop thinking Doctor Who anymore. Oh, you know what? I don't have that return signal. I'll have to work on that as well. So I'll keep the redstone on me. I feel like by keeping them short, they're gonna help stay focused. Not everything has to keep going on and on and on and on and on. I'm currently, I think, 1 episode behind. If there's 8 episodes, I've seen the first 4 of the current series. I caught up not too long ago on the 4 episodes that were out then, and then 1 released last Saturday. Alright, I still don't know where to put the honeycomb. I'll deal with that later. I'll probably get through the second half of the series after it's completed. Just spend another afternoon, or part of the afternoon, working on that. I needed campfires. I don't think I have any campfires. Popsico sounds familiar. I feel like I've heard of that before. If you describe what it is, I might remember. There's my coral. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Maybe I don't have any campfires yet. They're a 1.14 item, which means they would be up here. This is some of the 1.8 and later items. It's a song. Pretty sure I've heard it before. Someone I knew has a brother who was a small fry once upon a time, and listened to that. Alright, so since I don't have any campfires, let me look at the crafting table real fast and see if I know the thingy. I've made at least 2 before. Am I not seeing it? I'm about to go to Google since I've been through this twice and I've totally missed it. So, assuming the recipe is indeed unlocked, I'm gonna whip out Google real fast. Alright, so we're looking at coal, sticks, and logs. Alright, so I'll need to multiply everything by 4. Alright, let me find coal. I'd expect them to be simple. Isn't it made for kids? Well, apparently the recipe is unlocked. I'm just not finding it. Oh, you know what? I think I know why. I was looking for the 3D model. I thought the item displayed the 3D model and not a 2D image. Is that why I couldn't find it? Yeah, it's right here. I was looking for a 3D render of the block. That's not cool. This is detailed. I'd rather see the render, but I guess I couldn't have the render because you'd have to incorporate 2 different textures. Unless the fire is a part of the model itself. Anyways, that's not important. Technical terms. So I have the campfires, still have the shears. I'll acquire more bee nests in the future. But first, time to catch some Z's, reset the weather timer. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me look at my shopping list because I needed more stuff. I have the 4 campfires. I need 1 lever and 3 signs. Good thing I wrote that down because I was about to start walking away. Well, that's nice. I only have 3 oak signs. It's kind of funny with all these different wood types and all the different plank variations that can be used for different blocks. I still stick to oak most of the time. I don't know what... I should say, A, I don't see any ads on YouTube. B, I don't know what AI robot dog you're talking about. I said A and B right. I feel like I said A and 2. I might have not been paying attention to what I was saying. Hey, that looks kind of cool from a distance. It really does sort of look like a greenhouse. You can see all the leaves from here. Like spike as I cross a chunk border. I still want to figure out exactly which chunk borders and which direction. I guess if I'm here over in positive, I can verify whether or not it occurs on the same direction in both axes, or if it's mirrored when you flip the axis. Oh wait, didn't I need a force sign for the front door? I could just not put a sign there. I didn't write down iron door. I'll do that later. Okay, so this was input received. Before E, except after C. This one is shed light. And then this one is B movie lights. Yeah, that is indeed rather up there in price. Oh wait, hold on, I wonder. Can you have floating campfires? Oh, you can. I don't know how long it takes for the effect to activate, but we're gonna have this like that temporarily. And then... Huzzah. Will the bees still make honey even if the campfire is there? Sorry, tall grass. I didn't get any advancement. Oops, excuse me, flower. But you know what, no, hold on, I'll put it there. If the bees are chill and keep working, I'll just leave the campfire. Otherwise, I might have to put a block underneath to cover it. What I'm starting to realize, all I really need to do... Hold on, let me go back down there real fast. Collect honey for the advancement, not the wax. Oh, I see. How do I collect honey from it? Do I use a bottle instead? Yeah, I've realized there's a, you can have a few blocks beneath, or I should say a few blocks at the smoke rises, which means if I really did have the campfire down here, each of the campfires down here, I could probably fit a piston right beneath the ceiling. This might be doable, and I didn't think about that. But as I'm examining the amount of free space I have down here, I forgot honey existed because I'm used to the honeycomb. I know the smoke will go higher, but I don't know if that has an effect on the calming effect. Well, either way, we're gonna wait around a little bit and see if that starts appearing. But in fact, here, while we wait for that, I'm gonna look up honey bottle real fast. You can just drink the honey by itself. How many people just drink honey? So yeah, it can be obtained using a bottle on a beehive or a bee nest with a honey level of 5. Alrighty. I didn't even know there were more than 5 levels of honey. Oops. For some reason I thought there was only 3. That the amount of honey inside would only go up to 3. The next download's still gonna be in a couple months, Paul. I like honey when it's on stuff. I don't think I like honey when it's just by itself. Alright, so with that taken care of, we need to hook up the return signal because I still don't have a way of saying, look, all the power made it this far. Because now I have to send the signal down that path. All the way over. Alright, so from here, in fact, if I were to just hook this up real fast, move that down. So this goes all the way to level... This is level 27. I'll do the same thing over here, and then kind of copy from that previous tunnel. And then when we come back later, we'll see how things are looking inside. Because if there's at least a little bit of honey, then I know that I can keep the campfire there forever. If someone knows the answer, don't tell me. This is something I'd rather learn on my own. I say as I have the wiki open of the honey bottle. It worked as I expected, so my theory was already proven without needing to test it. I really had a torch right there. What are the chances? Okay, so now for this tunnel. This is where things may get a little challenging. Thankfully, I have the cobblestone here to dictate where everything has to go. So the return signal, I think that's this wire here. I don't know if this is gonna work. So if I have that block there, let me see if I could just have a regular if I could just have a regular wire here, because I don't want to put a repeater. If I put a repeater, I'll have to put a repeater down here, and that's going to slow down the process even more. So let me find the exit. Not July, it's going to be August. Or September, depends on how long, because I'm going to have to buy more storage space. I am physically incapable of uploading the UMP archive right now. Alright, cool. Regular redstone works. It'll remove the poison effect, but not other effects. I can understand that. I can see the usage. Yeah, the witch and her 30-second poison is miserable. Hands down every time. Can't change my mind. Alright, so we're gonna go all the way until maybe around here or so. So this is 607. Let me write that down. I'll have to cross the wires over here and go from that. So yeah, I can close that, set my preview back to live. I'm not gonna update to the Deep Dark Deep Slate version anytime soon. 1.19? 1.19 is a ways to go. Might not even be in the next 2 parts, or 3 parts. Alright, fine, I'll put the torch back here, because I don't want to put torch on gold. Never put torches on ores, kids. What if you want to come back one day and mine that ore? Then you'd have to move the torch if the torch was already there. 1 part does not equal 1 year. And that's why I wasn't laying down the redstone yet. Oh, that's not cool. 607 is right around the middle of this. Maybe I should just go all the way. So let's first fill all this in. Let me breathe real fast. Alright, so the next, we're gonna fill this up. Was Jump Boost the one that you were talking to me about before? I remember on a previous stream we had a discussion about beacons. I thought that was with you. Alright, so from there, let me open up the side over here. Paul, UMP Part 4 is only going up to 1.17.1, and then I'm taking another break. Alright, so that goes way over there. So then I have to get this wire on the up and up. I could probably go underneath here. So this is way down at... As long as I'm beneath this signal, we'll be good. How far down does it go? Was it 27? Was it 27 or 29? This is 29, this is 27. Oh, I might have already made it. The Deep Dark is 1.19. Okay, so yeah, this is 27. I don't know what luck and unluck do. I didn't even know those were in the game until I was looking at the potion effects when updating the resource pack. And I saw those listed in there. So this is 462. one block. It was straight up one block over. That's rather disappointing. Alright, this is the part where we deconstruct a bunch of this redstone. Because I'm going to have to run another super long wire for this. So when you say the luck effects loop tables, are you referring to that if you have luck applied when you open the chest? Or any of the loop item? Any of the loot boxes? You know what I think I'm going to do? We're going to put a torch there. Oh wait, I'd still have to go up to carry the signal. Just kidding, we're not going to put a torch there. So it goes... here, we'll use stone for this. Oh wait, hold on, not there. I'll put the repeater on top of this block. Oh, in fact, if I have another block right there... Hold on, I'm going to have to take this real fast here. Because some of this is going to be filled in real fast, because I could just have the repeater power that block, and that'll still give me the potential bonus. Alright, so... repeater goes there, powers that block. The block underneath there can be dug up. Alright, so... there we go, that's powered, so now this keeps going forward. Coolio, then I want this to be cobblestone. We're gonna open that up. Another repeater, that's cobblestone. Yeah, Paul and spelling end up via flatto. Although, truth be told, I don't know how many people do indeed spell flatto correctly. It's one of those, words. Heh, that could have been bad. But thankfully, it wasn't. I think people started saying EAU originally, but it was always OH. I remember specifically stating I did not want it to be EAU. It's not plateau, it's flatto. It's the opposite of being a plateau. Oh, I don't have my bed over here. I done goofed. Well, anyways, hold on, we gotta verify whether or not this signal works before we run on back. So, oops, that's the Zelenico. So if I flip this lever over here, no more power being sent out, no more power being received. Turn that on, power sent out, power received. Hooray, hooray, hooray. And by adding that extra cobblestone, I saved probably one repeater. This would be like an inverted plateau. Because instead of having a gentle rise going up and then flattening out at the top, all the uphill is on the sides, and then it goes down, and then it's flat at the bottom. Are these two bees waiting for this one to finish up here, or are they just not knowing what they're supposed to be doing? I'll have to come back with more stuff, but we're gonna do something real fast. Do the bees get mad if they are outside when you shear, or is it only if they're inside? The guy outside didn't get mad. I think we're all good. So we'll be coming back with glass bottles. We're also gonna steal this because I need it on me. And before we get back, I've gotta remember, use the dirt. Oh, that you did say it was inverted. I missed that part. I also need an iron door. The microplastics of language? What is that supposed to mean? We're also sitting here. Oops, I am hungry. Nom 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 nom. Is that important? Nope. Alright, away we go. We have about 4 minutes left of the day or so. Flat toe. It's a flat toe. I can assure you that is indeed not it, though. That's even worse. Prepare for an existential crisis. Do you understand how immune I am to existential crises? I just accept this is the way the world is nowadays. And so, I don't struggle with existentialism. Is this safe to dig? Yeah, it is. Why didn't I do that before? I see OUGH and I usually think, like cough. Flat ta. That's the way I read it first in my head. Even though, it's probably a more common word I see. And part of that is I use though a lot in typing. See, flat toe, OW is a lot closer, because then it's just one letter off. There was a video I watched a while ago, and it was all the different ways comparing, like, ear and air. And not just the pronunciations, but the spellings as well. And so, it's definitely odd. Hold on, am I confident in that? One of these days I might dig up all this sand. I don't know why it's still here. If anything, I would move the sand over on this side. Oh, no way, me of the past fixed these leaves? A lot of these leaves decayed because I placed them in Classic. And so, when leaf decay was properly added, it didn't find any valid blocks. And so a lot of them just disappeared. I didn't realize I went back and fixed that. Good job, me of the past. And I don't know how long that block's been missing. I wonder if I was checking for Peekaboo Pixel there one day and I never put it back. Rest in peace, Peekaboo Pixel. Let's see, so with the amount of time we have, we could probably mad dash back over there. Alright, so let me put away all this stuff. And I didn't need nearly as much dirt as I thought I would. So let me grab an iron door. Flat snow. Flat snow sounds like... It sounds like a place. Welcome to Flat Snow. Well, I guess Flateau. Indevia Flateau is also a place, so that would make sense. And oh boy, I have a lot of iron doors. Hippity hoppity, this door is now my property. Alright, so now I needed glass bottles. Glass bottles are in Warehouse 2 Electric Boogaloo. I'm hoping I can make it over there. I don't know if I'll be able to collect any of the honey in the bottle, because we have about 30 seconds left before it's time to call it. But I might have enough time. Flat O sounds like a cereal. But yeah, y'all started this. You come back tomorrow and you can't say any of these words again, don't be surprised. Just kidding. No one's coming back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. That's not entirely true. There's a Black Mesa event going on tomorrow. Surprise for anyone who watches my content other than just Minecraft. I'll be playing through Black Mesa again. We're expecting the event to last about 5 hours. So feel free to hop on at any time during then. And is that missing? Did an Enderman steal my dirt? Alright, well anyways, the last thing we're gonna do is try to collect honey, otherwise start saying your final thoughts now. I feel like not enough time passed since I collected the honeycombs though. I don't think there can be snow in anywhere here in the bowl, because I don't think there's any biomes cold enough, and we're not high enough as well. Let's see. I'm pretty sure this is not going to collect. Nope. Alright, so I'll have to stick around a while. And yeah, we'll go from there. But that is indeed all it for today. Non-Minecraft stream most likely tomorrow, hopefully. We'll see. I really hope to attend the event, but anything can happen. So, it's likely there will be a non-Minecraft stream tomorrow, and then we'll keep going with UMP on Monday. But yeah, that's indeed all it for today. Thank you all for watching. Bye.